So, welcome friends. Welcome to the course of industrial pollution. And this is Ashutosh Kumar, and I hope you have liked my first video lecture of industrial pollution. So, let us start second lecture. So, highlights of previous lecture. So, in previous lecture, I have discussed the 10 ways by which human affect the environment. So that was overpopulation, pollution, global warming, climate change, genetic modification, ocean acidification, water pollution, deforestation, acid rain, and ozone depletion. Now, in this particular lecture, I am going to discuss atmosphere and its characteristics, atmosphere versus environment, and layers of atmosphere, which is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So let us start. So first discuss what is atmosphere. So atmosphere is nothing but the envelope of gases surrounding the earth or any other planet. So atmosphere is envelope of gases surround this earth or any other planet. And without atmosphere, there could be no life on earth. Without atmosphere, we cannot imagine the life on earth. Now, what are the characteristics of atmosphere? So atmosphere contains the air we breathe. So like we can look at this picture from tree, oxygen is coming and oxygen is inhaled and carbon dioxide is exhaled. So atmosphere contains the air we breathe and it protect life from harmful radiation from the sun. As we all know that, as we all know that from sun harmful radiations are coming, like ultraviolet rays are coming, electromagnetic rays are coming. So the atmosphere protects us from the harmful radiation of sun. The third characteristics of atmosphere is atmosphere helps the planet heat from the sun from escaping back into space. What will happen? Suppose we want to we want survival of mankind on this planet. So there must be certain amount of heat that must be available on this planet. Otherwise, existence of human cannot be possible. So this planet or this atmosphere keeps the heat or desired form of heat into the atmosphere. And if it cannot contains the heat, what will happen? The heat will escape back into a space. Now the fourth one is it is major element of water cycle. Water cycle, as we all know, how rain when, so all these things, water cycle is related to atmosphere and is a major characteristics of atmosphere. Now the fifth one is environment or atmosphere keeps the earth moderate compared to that of other planet. So the climate of earth is moderate when we compared earth with other planet. Like survival cannot be possible on Mercury. Mercury is a planet which is nearer to sun. So planet or life on Mercury cannot be possible because their atmosphere is too hot. So like that in Pluto also, survival of any species, whether man, animal, tree, is not possible because they have very cold. So these are the characteristics of the atmosphere. Now, composition of and surrounding atmosphere. So what are the major compositions? So composition accounts for nitrogen accounts for 78% of atmosphere. So major part is nitrogen and it occupies 78%. The second major part is oxygen, which is 21% found in environment, sorry, in atmosphere. The third is argon gases, that is 0.9%. And the fourth one is carbon dioxide, which lies between 0.03 to 0.04%. And the next one is the traces amount of neon, helium, methane, krypton, and hydrogen, as well as water vapor. So these all are composition of atmosphere. Now we have to discuss what is the difference between atmosphere and environment. Many students feel that atmosphere and environment both are same, but both are not same. As I earlier discussed, atmosphere refers to the envelope of gases surrounding the earth, whereas environment refers to all the living and non-living things that makes up the surrounding. It means atmosphere only includes envelope of gases, whereas environment includes all living and non-living things make up the surrounding. Like we people, animal, tree, we all make environment, whereas the all gases or layer of gases makes up atmosphere. Now, layers of atmosphere. So the earth atmosphere has a series of layers, and each with its own specific traits moving upward from ground level. So from ground level, when we move upward, then there is series of layers of atmosphere is found. So there are 5 layers of atmosphere. The first is troposphere, the second is stratosphere, third is meso, fourth is thermo, and fifth is exosphere. These all are layers of atmosphere. So let us discuss the first layer, which is troposphere. So the troposphere is the first layer of atmosphere where we live in. So in troposphere, we people live in. So the heat that comes from Earth's surface warms this layer up, and therefore the temperature diminishes when it goes upward. So in troposphere, when we go up from ground level, temperature starts decreasing. So most clouds, 99% of clouds found in this troposphere. Now, characteristics of troposphere. So characteristics, so 0 to 8 kilometer above pole. So its height varies from 0 to 8 kilometer above pole and 15 kilometer above equator. And it contains 75% of atmosphere mass. So total mass of atmosphere, suppose 100%. So out of 100%, 75% mass is occupied by troposphere. Now, as I earlier discussed, temperature drops when we go up in troposphere, and air pressure also drops in troposphere. Now, poles and equators. So in previous slide, as I have discussed, the height of troposphere is 0 to 8 kilometer above pole and 0 to 15 kilometer above equator. So let us discuss what is poles and equators. So first discuss what is equator. So the equator is the only line of latitude that divides the earth planet into two equal parts. So look at this figure, this earth. So equator, this line is equator line, and this line divides the earth into two parts. So equator is a line which divides the earth into two parts. The first part, this one is first part, and this one is second part. Now pole. So a geographical pole or pole is either of the 2 points on a rotating body. So in any rotating body, there are 2 points. The first point is North Pole, and the lower point, the upper point is North Pole, and the lower point is a South Pole. So this is the difference between North and South Pole, and also in equator. Now let us discuss the second layer of atmosphere, which is stratosphere. So this layer lies directly above the troposphere and is about 35 kilometer deep, and it extends from 15 to 50 kilometer above the Earth's surface. Like I discussed that troposphere, the distance is 0 to 15 kilometer from ground. So next layer, that is second layer, stratosphere, it extends from 15 kilometer to 50 kilometer above the Earth's surface. But in stratosphere, unlike in troposphere, where temperature decreases when we go up, but in case of stratosphere, temperature increases when we go up. In troposphere, temperature decreases when we go up, but in case of stratosphere, temperature increases when we go up. Now, one very important point, that ozone layer is found in stratosphere. So what is ozone layer? So ozone, this layer, suppose this is Earth, the first layer I discussed, troposphere. So just after troposphere, there is ozone layer. So this ozone layer is found in stratosphere. So what is the function of ozone layer? So ozone layer filters the ultraviolet radiation which is coming from sun. So ultraviolet radiation coming from sun is filtered by ozone layer, and the formula of ozone, as I discussed in previous lecture, that is O3. Now, other thing is why aeroplane fly in a stratosphere. So, like mesosphere, we have like troposphere. After that, we have a stratosphere. So, why aeroplane fly in a stratosphere? So, the least amount of turbulence is found in a stratosphere. So, very less turbulence is found in the stratosphere. So, this is the first reason why aeroplane fly in a stratosphere. The second reason is this layer is very dry. So, in first layer, dryness is more, or that is one. In this layer, we have a very dry layer. So, for flight or for aeroplane, it is good. Now, fewer clouds are there, so better visibility for pilot. So, pilot having better visibility in this stratosphere. So, that is why aeroplane fly in stratosphere. Now, third one is mesosphere. So, mesosphere is a third layer of atmosphere, and it is extending from 50 kilometer to 80 kilometer above the Earth's surface. And the mesosphere is cold layer where the temperature generally decreases with increasing altitude. So in mesosphere, when we go up, temperature goes down. Now meteors, that is also called ulka, burn up after entering mesosphere and before reaching the Earth's surface. So meteors burn up, ulka burn ups in mesosphere. Before, this layer is very important where meteors burn. Otherwise, what will happen? Ulka or meteors will directly collide to the Earth's surface. Now thermosphere. So the thermosphere is fourth layer of atmosphere, and it extends from 80 kilometer above Earth's surface to 700 kilometer of outer space. And the thermosphere is the layer in the Earth atmosphere directly above the mesosphere and below the exosphere. So it lies above mesosphere and below exosphere. And high energy X-ray and ultraviolet radiation from the sun are absorbed in the thermosphere. So, and the temperature is hot and may be as high as thousands of degrees, as few molecules that are present in the thermosphere receive extraordinary large amount of energy from the sun. So in this sphere also temperature is very hot. Now International Space Station. So the International Space Station orbits the Earth within the middle of the thermosphere. So International Space Station is found in we set up International Space Station in thermosphere. Now exosphere. So this is the most external layer of atmosphere, and it is also less known. Very less discoveries are there related to exosphere, and it starts from 700 kilometer and goes up to 10,000 kilometer in the outer space. And researchers have calculated that its temperature exceeds even 2000 degrees Celsius. Very high temperature is there in exosphere. So in nutshell, let us discuss what are the ranges of atmosphere. So we have 5 ranges or 5 layers of atmosphere, and 5 ranges are given. So first is troposphere, and the range is 0 to 15 kilometer for equator and 0 to 18 kilometer for poles. Then is a stratosphere, 15 to 50 kilometer. This is range. Then mesosphere, 50 to 80 kilometer. Then thermosphere, 80 to 700 kilometer. And exosphere, 700 kilometer to 10,000 kilometer. So these are the ranges of atmosphere. So thank you, student, and I hope you have liked this lecture. And we will start next lecture in a next video. Thank you.